So there's been tons and tons of talk about Dungeon Finder and it not being in the game. A lot of people want it in the game, a lot of people don't want it in the game. I'd say more people want it in the game. But Blizzard have come out now and actually shown what they're working on, and they've said it's going to be available day one of beta. Let's have a look. So what they've said is, as we all know, there's an infinite amount of ground to cover on this topic. I'm not sure how much I can say that hasn't already been said before, but what I can assure you of is our team is extremely committed to finding good solutions to player concerns that don't compromise on the things that make Classic loved in the first place. And speaking of solutions, I've come bearing some good news. We are actively developing a brand new group finder UI for Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Here's a small sneak preview of some of the features we're aiming to deliver. Wouldn't it be great now if the next screenshot was just a picture of random Dungeon Finder? Nothing's changed. Just, here you go, here's random Dungeon Finder, this is what we've been working on. Cheers, Blizz. So a new look with a modern code. We've rebuilt the UI to be easier to read and more inviting than it was in Burning Crusade Classic. Behind the scenes, we're using our modern group finder code, ensuring stability and performance. Okay, so far so good. So roles. We're introducing roles into the UI in Wrath Classic. Partial groups can broadcast which slots they have open, and individuals can specify whether they're willing to tank, heal, deal damage, or do multiple of the above. Roles are intended to expedite communication, not stifle gameplay creativity. So for the moment, we're keeping all roles open to all classes. All roles open to all classes. Sorry, I am really tired because I've just woke up, but does that mean a warrior can queue himself as a healer because he's got bandages? That to me sounds a bit like they struggled getting it to work properly and was like, yeah, I would just say it's because we don't want to stifle gameplay. Anyway, I don't want to be negative because this is looking good so far. Solo listings and multiple activities. We envision this group finder as a bulletin board. What a choice of words. Where players can list activities they want to do and discover others who want to do the same. To that end, we're supporting listings from both solo individuals and partially filled groups. And if you can't decide which dungeon you want to run, that's okay. You can list yourself for more than one. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah, being able to list yourself for multiple, because, you know, you might be in a group with, let's say, 2 of your mates in the guild and you're like, well, I don't mind if we go and do Old Kingdom or Asjol Arab or Halls of Stone, and you're like, well, we'll list ourselves, whoever joins, you know, will do what they want to do. That's quite cool. Request invite and suggest invite. To smooth out group formation, we're hiding request invite and suggest invite features. Just remember, a quick hey there is always preferred over a silent and sudden ninja invite. So what that sounds like, please in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but request invite, obviously, if you want to join the group, you'll just right click on the one that you want to join or double click or whatever you're going to do, select request invite, the leader gets notified. Suggest invite, is that, I'm assuming that's so the people in your group can help you. Don't know if that's something that's been pulled over from retail. I don't really play retail much, well, anymore at all, really. So I'm assuming that's so the rest of the group can like right click and go suggest invite on a specific person, and then the leader will see that, which is really cool. If that's actually what it does, that's a great idea. We're aiming for this group finding UI to be a one-stop shop for all your group finding needs. To that end, we're reviving an old rule from the original Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. Sending messages in looking for group chat channel will require being listed in the UI. You might be thinking, no one likes restrictions. In an ideal world, each individual player would build their groups using whatever tools they deem best for the job. However, we've observed that group finding is a social coordination problem, and there's value in funneling everyone through the same system. If we can create a single source through which all group finding is done, all players will reap the benefits. We're aiming to have our new group finder deliver an effective, efficient and enjoyable group finding experience, and we want the help of you and other players in getting there. We'll have a fully functional test version of group finder available on day one of the Wrath of the Lich King beta. What, today? Because I'm really hoping the beta's today, so that'd be nice to actually try this out later on when I've woke up a little bit and finished my tea. Now, I've got to be honest, as someone who wanted random Dungeon Finder just as it was, I think this is actually good news. I like how it looks. I think it's gonna be used. Well, it's gonna have to be used because you're being forced to use it. So RIP bulletin board. There's gonna be no way around that now, really. This has to be the tool that you use, because to physically post in the looking for group channel, you need to be queued in this tool. But overall, I think it's a good meet in the middle middle for everybody. It should be a quicker way to form groups, a quicker way to find people. It looks very clear. It does also look like you'll be able to use it to obviously form not only dungeons, but raids, heroic dungeons, quests, PvP, and custom. So you could even set some custom events up in here, which is obviously very nice. On this picture here, it does actually show just sort of Halls of Stone, Gundrak, Violet Hole, so just Wrath of the Lich King dungeons. I'm hoping that it's got dungeon support in for lower levels as well, because I think lower levels is where it's needed more than at higher levels, if I'm honest with you. So it would be nice to make sure that they have got all of the dungeons available through Classic and TBC as well for when people are leveling. And there's about to be another piece of news that's dropped that I'm going to jump on a video for that straight away, and that's about bonus XP, and that's going to have a real big effect on Fresh. So make sure you come back and check that one out. Like and subscribe, roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes, everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name, and you get access to members only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.